Hi, this is Nurse Choma, your NCLEX Prep Coach, and I'm the founder of Choosing Nursing over at choosingnursing.net, where we help you to pass your NCLEX exam. I am a registered nurse. I'm an NCLEX Strategist. I've been a nurse now for over 7 years. I graduated from San Diego State University in May 2010 with my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing degree. I practiced medical surgical nursing, went telemetry nursing for 4 years, and then about 1 year in insurance nursing, and then I've been helping people to pass their NCLEX exam for well over almost 3 years now. And I've been able to turn almost 200 predominantly repeat NCLEX test takers into becoming licensed registered nurses as well as also practical nurses with an average of about a 93% passing rate with my review programs. And this, like I said, is with people who have failed before and now passed later on with my help. So if you are watching this video and you feel that this is information that I'm going to share that may help somebody other than you who also needs help to pass their NCLEX exam, then I would encourage you to share this video with them. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, like this what I'm going to be talking about is how to finally pass your NCLEX RN exam, even if you have struggled before, even if it's been 6 years, 10 years, or you've taken it like 5 times, 4 times, 3 times, or you just never got around to taking it. There's just so many different reasons why you may have had a challenge with passing your exam. This is for you. This video is for you because one of the common beliefs that a lot of people all over the United States have, whether they're nurses or not, is that everybody passes their exam, right? That's one of the, everybody believes that it's the norm for a lot of people to pass their exam, which is true, right? Because you see that posted on the NCSBN website, and also people will tell you on social media, hey, I passed my exam, here's my unofficial results, right? Now, here's the thing though, there's still a lot of people, I mean by the thousands, that don't pass their tests and that are not successful with their exam for multiple reasons. And actually, I did the math, based on what it says on the NCSBN website, and I went through it. I did some subtraction and everything, and it's actually about 69,303 people per year that don't pass their exam. So I actually did the math, and that's a whole other, to show you the equation that I did to come up with that result. But that's actually the average of amount of people that don't pass their exam every year within the past 3 years. Okay, so even though, and so what I want to do is that I really want to talk to you guys. I want to talk to you guys that are struggling to pass, and hopefully this will give you some clarity, as far as like what you need to do differently in order to pass. And even if you are a first-time test taker, like you've never passed you're still yet to take the exam, this is still going to help you a lot. So it's going to help you to prevent from making certain type of mistakes, so that way you pass it on your first try. So all right, so let's go and begin. The first thing, all right, and hopefully if you haven't already, I would encourage you to stop for a moment and grab paper and pencil or pen and take some notes because this is going to help you. So the first thing you want to do, if you, like I said, a repeat test taker and you want to finally pass your NCLEX exam, is that you need to simplify. That's the big word right there. You need to simplify. One of the the common themes for a lot of you guys that are taking your exam before is that you have so many resources, right? You went through review classes, you have probably a whole bunch of books. I've talked to people who told me literally, Nurse Choma, I have a pile of Saunders books, pharmacology books, whatever books on top of my desk. They're just sitting there, and I just can't study them. It's just too much, so you use the books, you went to review classes, you have studied, you did put in the time and the energy to study, but you have not been successful though. So here's the first thing that you have to do moving forward to pass your exam starting now, because remember, it's all about steps. It's not one big thing, it's several steps you need to take. The first thing is that you need to simplify. Okay, you have to simplify. So you need to simplify your studying routine now, so that way you're not as overwhelmed from the start to the finish. So here's the 3 things I recommend that you do. All right, and write this down. Number 1, the 3 steps you want to do to help you to simplify your studying routine. 1, you need to identify what went wrong the last time. Right? What went wrong the last time and what did you do? So meaning that, okay, the last time you took the exam, just think, no matter how long ago that was, try and recall it. The last time you took your exam, what happened? Were you anxious? Did somebody in your family pass away around the time you took your exam? Were you pregnant? Did you have like personal dynamics occur in your life? Did you get so anxious during the test that you just quit? You just started rushing through it? And then also, what did you do? So did you prepare for the exam by studying from books only? Did you prepare for the exam by using Kaplan? Did you prepare for the exam using Hertz? Like, what did you do? You have to first identify all these factors so that way you can look at to see how to remove any type of things, any type of impediments, as well as how to resolve all those little problems in the future. So first evaluate that so that you know what to do differently the next time. So that's for number 1. Number 2, you need to identify your weak areas. I've talked about this several times, but it's extremely important. If you just took your exam recently, let's say if you took it in the past 30 days and you just got your results, you can use the results from that it told you that you're to identify your weak areas. But if it's been like 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, years, you can't use that result. It's not the same anymore because now too much time has passed and you've lost that momentum. So you need to identify your weak areas on the exam by the categories. So are you weak in farm, management of care, basic care and comfort, certification control? Like, you need to identify all of them because that is how you're going to narrow down your focus. That is how you're going to pinpoint and identify, what you should actually focus on, not everything. Because some people, once they get farm, they get farm. Other people are not like that. But some people, once they get, for example, basic care and comfort, they're fine. So don't, overwhelm yourself by studying everything, but pinpoint what specifically you struggle with the most and focus on that. Because what happens is that the NCLEX exam, the reason why it's not passing you is because it's highlighting or it is identifying your weak areas when you take the test. So because it's doing that, that's why it doesn't want to pass you. So you need to first strengthen those weak areas. Now, I do have a NCLEX readiness assessment package, and that is pretty much a program where it includes an assessment test that identifies your weak areas for you, in addition to video trainings and feedbacks, so you understand what your results mean. So that is, I do have that. Of course there's also other, websites where you can just Google and probably take like a practice test or something to that nature to figure out your weak areas. So it's all up to you what you want to do, but that's the second thing. So like I said, the first one was identify what went wrong. Number 2, identify your weak areas. And now number 3, you need to create a new study plan that's now going to be centered around those weaknesses, those weak areas, and then you want to also combine it with strategies. If you like, let's say now, okay, you identify your weak in farm, safety, and management of care. So now you're going to plan out your study routine around those weak areas. And then you're going to also combine it with strategies that addresses those weaknesses. So if you've taken your exam multiple times and you study, you may be having one of 2 problems. Here's the problem. 1, you're not really connecting the content very well, because that's honestly what it is. And that could be for several reasons again. Or it could also be that you just don't have enough strategies, honestly. And that's usually what the biggest thing that a repeat test taker needs more of is you need more strategies, and as well to help you to pass your exam. Because the thing about doing a whole bunch of questions, yeah, it's okay, but the problem though is that it's not giving you the whole picture, and that's why you're not getting it when you take the test. So you need strategies. All right, you need strategies. And remember, I said plural. So I'm saying plural strategies. So not one or two is not enough. You need several of them. Okay, so those are the three things. One was identify what went wrong. Two was identify your weak areas. Three was create a new study plan. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the study plan now. Okay, so I'm going to share with you, my method for creating a study plan, especially as a repeat test taker. If you're a first-time test taker, you probably don't need to do this much. Like it's depending on the level of education you received. But if you want to be more than sure, I would recommend this. So this is what I call. Here, are you ready? This is what I call my leveling up method. So what this means is that you study for your exam in levels. When you prepare for your test, you study for the NCLEX exam with the mentality of, I'm just going to try to consume as much content as possible, or you're going to be more overwhelmed naturally. That's how the human body is. When you prepare with that type of mindset, let me just read this entire book, let me just try to consume as much as possible, and you're a repeat test taker, you're more likely to quit studying, you're more likely to feel overwhelmed, and you're more likely to lose focus. And then also, if you do, like I said, with the questions mentality, like I said, you're not going to get the whole picture. And that's what you need for the exam. The questions just only gives you pieces of the picture, not everything. So you want to break up your studying into increments, levels. So here's the benefits of studying in levels. I'm going to share with you, okay? And like I said, I would encourage you to write this down as well. The first benefit of studying in levels or increments is one, you're more likely to keep going. Why? Because you know what the end goal is. You know how for most people I've heard before, they'll tell me like, oh, okay, yeah, I studied for a while, let me take my test. That's not really a end goal. You can't measure anything with that. So one is that you're more likely to keep going because you're like, okay, I reached this level, so I need to reach this level. Because you're going in levels, not in let me just study everything. Like you're not going to finish. Two, it keeps you organized from start to finish, right? You stay organized. When you're organized, that also increases, your motivation to keep studying. When you're organized, it makes you just feel better. Rather than when everything's chaotic, it's too stressful to study. So that's the second thing. That's the second benefit of studying in levels. Three, you're more likely to really know when you're actually ready to take your exam, rather than just taking it blindly, right? Wouldn't you want to know, am I ready to take your exam versus just taking it because you study for X amount of days? That's not really, strong enough, especially if you're a repeat test taker. So that's the third advantage of studying in levels. You're more likely to actually be able to pinpoint, identify that you're ready. Four, it's going to make you feel more confident. That's just the biggest thing. And that's usually one of the biggest things that a lot of people struggle with the most, is just that decrease in confidence because they took an exam so many times. So this is the benefit of doing it in this manner. And I highly recommend this way of studying, especially if you are taking your NCLEX RN exam, and if you're a repeat test taker. Now, this leveling up method that I just mentioned right now, this is what I do, and this is how I teach in my 6-week mastermind review program. Because this is pretty much what we do. Each week we're hitting the levels. We're hitting each level, and that makes things more structured, and it makes things more organized. And then you see the progress, like with your own eyes, that it's working and that you're getting it, and you're noticing a difference in how you're studying for your exam. With the 6-week mastermind program, it does include the NCLEX readiness package I mentioned earlier. And with the 6-week program, it's only available 3 times per year. So January, June, and October. That's it. So I have different types of review classes, and one type is the mastermind program, which is only for RN test takers, and that's only available in January, June, and October. That's the only time you can enroll for that program. Now here's the thing though. Would you want to know? Remember I shared right now about the 4 levels, because the 4 levels is literally what I do in this program, and it's what I recommend for a lot of people. I do have a free training. I have a free video training, which is pretty much under like 10 minutes, where I go into more detail about each of the levels. So I talk about what each of the levels actually are, and then also I help you to identify what level you're at. So, regardless of when you graduated or how many times you've taken the exam, the benefit of this is that you'll know, okay, I'm on this level, so I should study like this. Or I'm on this level, so I should focus on this. That's the advantage of watching this video training, especially if you have not passed your exam before, and you're a repeat test taker. And this video training is only for RN test takers, because LPN, your studying plan model would be a little bit more different based on the NCSBN PN test plan. So this video training is only for RN test takers. So it's called the 4 levels to passing the NCLEX exam. The 4 levels to passing the NCLEX exam. If you want to access this video, go to bit.ly/4, the word 4 levels. So bit.ly/FOUR not the number. Okay, so that's where you go to if you want to access this video right now. You can go through right now. Like I said, only for RN test takers. If you're LPN, don't access this video, because you need something different based on the NCLEX PN model plan. Okay, so to access this video, like I said, go to bit.ly/4 levels. Once you access this video, then you will be able to, once you click the link, you'll be able to access this video immediately and watch it, and then figure out what level you're at, so that way you can pass, and be on the right track to passing finally, right, your NCLEX RN exam. Okay, so once again, this is Nurse Choma. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will talk with you soon. Like I said, if you found this helpful, share this with a friend. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you the next time. bit.ly/FOURLEVLES. All right, bye-bye.